Teaching 51. 1. My disciples, you welcome me today with great joy and tenderness in your hearts. The reason for that is that your spiritual mother was with you before, embracing you with her divine essence. 2. Once your spirit separates from the material body which imprisons it, it will feel great joy dwelling in the regions of peace, always hearing the voice of its spiritual mother like a divine song. 3. Your faith and love for your spiritual mother is a seed which I entrust to you so that you will cultivate it in the hearts of your brothers. All who through my charity receive the sign on their forehead will go forth producing light along their paths. It has been a long time since I ordered those same spirits to mark the doors of their houses with the blood of the Lamb as a symbol of a pact and of purification. Only I know why I have marked you in all times. Only I know your destiny and the nature of your restitution, and that is why my justice always touches you to keep you away from evil. 4. When my voice began to ring in this time, like the echo from a bell, you immediately recognized who was calling. Then you arose to hear me in order to later follow me. No one among this multitude should consider himself a king or a lord because of the gifts that he received from me or because of the dignity which I have granted him. Instead, each of you needs to practice great humility and become greatly devoted to my law. 5. This is the time in which you will be spiritually active. The experience which you have acquired along your path will help you. Whenever you have been on earth, you have sought comforts and pleasures, and when you have dwelt in the hereafter, you have limited yourselves to a life of contemplation. Now is the time when you are understanding the purpose of your existence and the essence of your spiritual mission. 6. Every day men open new paths of perversity, and that is where you should allow this seed to fall, O laborers of Jesus, so that the example of your good deeds will testify to the truth of my doctrine and lead your brothers away from their materialism. Allow your lives always to follow along the straight path so that when death opens the doors of eternity to your spirit, your brothers can say, "Here is a just man." When you arrive before my presence, the Father will also tell you, "Come, for you will live eternally in me." 7. Elijah, who is the spiritual shepherd of the third era, is the one who has been made responsible for the spirits, who are like sheep in the sheepfold of the Lord. He is the one who will unite the 144,000 whom I am marking with the sign of my divinity. And when they have been marked, my justice will be unleashed on earth. Today, Elijah is lighting a lamp in each spirit so that no one becomes lost at the time of trial. 8. My people, my ray of light becomes word through my spokesmen to teach you my doctrine. This word has touched your hearts and pointed out the path which leads to happiness, lightening the weight of your cross. Strengthen yourselves in my word in order to faithfully endure your trials and to fulfill your work with love and humility. Do not fear what others might say about you, nor forget that you will have to be tested a great deal. 9. Humanity will once again rise up against me. Men need to scrutinize my work. Only then will they succeed in discovering the truth and the just law. Only then will they be able to find my presence and perceive my wisdom and my love. 10. You have a very important mission to fulfill in this struggle, but do not believe that you are possessors of my law, for I am the law and you are only its interpreters. 11. Be happy knowing that you do not possess royal temples which someone could destroy, for you can have your meetings in a simple room as well as in a valley or on a mountain. Wherever my children gather and call me, there I will be with them. I also tell you that no human power will ever be capable of detaining this word, which you will continue to receive uninterrupted until the day set by my will. If before that day arrives, men attempted to prevent my disciples from speaking or murdered them, their cadavers would cry out. 12. The prophecies which I have given to you in my word will be faithfully fulfilled. For I have not come to deceive you or to give you a stone for your bread or a serpent for your fish. I am the way, the truth, and the light. 13. In the second error I only announce to you the kingdom from which I came and which you will enter. Now I come to reveal to you much of the beauty of that divine mansion. That new life is the beginning of the kingdom of peace which I have promised you. 14. Since the first error I have marked the divine path that you need to follow. Follow that path. Continue in that path without abandoning your cross, for without it you will not be recognized. 15. What men have destroyed, I will rebuild. 16. Penetrate into the light and the essence of the sixth seal, the book where your destiny is written. 17. I give you lessons that comfort you, others that teach you, and also others that prepare you, so that you will lack nothing to help you along the path. 18. How many of the prophecies from my prophets are already being fulfilled? As Joel prophesied, I will pour out my spirit over all flesh. John, the apostle, saw this period in his prophetic visions, and my word will continue to be fulfilled throughout eternity. 19. The divine word is finding an echo in the heart of this people. You have prepared the dwelling, and here you have me with you. The book of true life is open before you, and each time you study it, you will receive a new lesson. But I say to those of you who remain in deep sleep, do not await the year 1950 to arrive, nor await my bell to sound announcing my departure before you decide to arise to listen to my word. You know that my word and that of my spiritual world will cease to be heard after that year which I have designated to you. 20. I redeemed you, and my blood was the symbol of the love I have for you. I do not wish for you to return to sin and darkness. 21. A worldwide ordeal approaches us, and I want my people to be prepared so that in the midst of the storm they might be the beacon of hope which illuminates the way for those who are lost at sea. Truly, truly, 3/4 of the earth will be affected and pain will cleanse it. Hear me, O people, for you will have to take these words to all of your brothers. 22. You will eliminate the selfishness which you may have held in your heart and make room for charity. Could you possibly preach about love without feeling it? Before you place that mask of hypocrisy over your face, I will teach you and test you until you learn to feel sincerity. 23. The day of my departure will come, and whoever has known how to prepare himself will feel spiritually situated at the left hand of the Lord. But truly I say to you that the number of those who are disobedient, of those who leap over the forbidden wall, will be great. Those will be the ones who, having heard me a great deal, did not know how to take advantage of nor understand the lesson. In their ignorance, they will ask the Father to be with them for a while longer, even though I have told them many times that my word is that of King, and it never fails. Heaven and earth would pass, and the sun would cease to shine if any one of my words were not fulfilled. For that reason I tell you that it was my will to announce to you the ending date of this manifestation from the first days of my communication, so that all of you would know it and be prepared. 24. Elijah announced my arrival to this multitude. Through Roch Rojas he also designated the year 1950 as that of my departure, that is, the final phase of the communication through human spokesmen. 25. In this instant, I say to you that my lessons are moving far ahead of you, and you are remaining behind. If you do not wish to feel weak when confronting audios, you must quicken your pace and strive to keep up with my lessons. Only in that way will you feel strong enough to enter the next phase, a phase when man will communicate with God from spirit to spirit. 26. I have revealed to you the presence of the spiritual world so that you might feel the nearness of your brothers and receive their wise advice. They have come to teach you spirituality. Why have you constantly desired for them to become materialized? Although you will not succeed in doing that, you will cause them to suffer. 27. Those spirits live in harmony with my divinity. They have come to help you resurrect because you are spiritually dead. My voice will be continually telling you, prepare yourselves, for if you do not, you will be unaware that you live in a time of danger and temptations, and you will see appear before you the false Christs, the false Elijahs, and the false spirits of light. 28. Do you want pain, the world, or men to be the ones that will free you from your mistakes? Remember that I have told you, the tree is known by its fruit. You should realize that phrase means you will be judged according to your deeds. Blessed are those who carry their cross with patience and obedience. But there will always exist among my apostles a disciple who is a traitor and deceitful and who, given another chance, would lead me to be sacrificed again. However, you need not possess a physical body in order to crucify me or spit in my face. 29. I want all of you to be obedient. I want no one to deserve these harsh words so that when your brothers come to ask you about me, you will not hide nor deny having heard me. Let no one turn his back on me during the moment of trial, nor should anyone hide his heritage. 30. My lesson is extensive in each of my teachings because I want your heart to become a spiritual sanctuary for your brothers where I made well. 31. Take advantage of this time in which my word caresses your spirits through the spokesman. Open your heart and cherish this book. For the moment will come when you will awaken from your profound sleep to seek this book for spiritual enlightenment. 32. I speak to you from my cross of love, but it is not blood that is now flowing from my body, but spiritual enlightenment, released in rays which descend over men. I have given you the gift of words and divine inspiration. From your mouths will come the explanation of the mystery of the 7 seals so that humanity might know my truth. This word which I give you today will remove the veil of darkness from men's eyes. The bad weed will be cut and the good seed will be sown in its place. 33. You are following a path that contains footprints covered with blood, vice, and sin. And you renounce those individuals who left those footprints, unaware that those footprints were left by you in your previous life. Therefore, you should not feel that you are without responsibility in this period. You will soon come to understand that my justice, though it seems harsh and relentless to you, is filled with love. Although I have given you a wealth of wisdom during this era through my spokesman, it will not be until after my departure in 1950, when my nightingales have ceased to sing these divine songs, that you will value this word. 34. My words are those of a king. My will is supreme. And when that moment comes, nothing or no one will cause a change in the order of my mandates and plans. There are those who say that 1950 is far away, and there is still time to enjoy their free will, and that later there will be time to convert and obey my law. How small and ignorant are those who think and feel in that manner. Who knows how many days one will still live on earth? Who has the authority to extend his existence on earth according to his own will? 35. When your material body is no longer alive, do not wish to leave your spirit in a deprived state. Do not convert your spirit into a suffering shadow which goes from door to door and from heart to heart, begging for rays of spiritual enlightenment when my spirit has poured an abundance of light over it. 36. Listen, beginning students. Once this word ceases to be heard, the Master wants you to become the spiritual teachers of your children, of the new generations which I will entrust to you. You will teach spirituality and morality, and your seed will be received in my granary. 37. The hypocritical Pharisees of the second era constantly cross my path, hoping to find a stain in my word or a lie among my words. they were never able to find one. 38. You will be scrutinized in this time, as was Jesus. But since you do not have the strength and the wisdom of the Master, I at least want you always to remain on the true path. After all that I have told you and the time that I have granted to you, your form of prayer should be very close to reflecting true spirituality. But you still have not triumphed over the world. The spirit still has not gained control over the physical body. 39. In the second era I sought disciples along the shore of the Sea of Galilee. When I found those who were to follow me, I told them, "Come," and they came after me. They left everything to follow me. So the crowds who believed in my word, I would say, "Whoever wishes to hear me, let him distribute his belongings among the needy and follow me." I come to show you the path that will guide you to my kingdom. Those disciples, who were later converted into apostles who practiced the love and the truth which Christ had preached, knew how to move the spiritual and moral foundations of the people of that time. They fulfilled the mission assigned to them by their Father through their loving deeds and even by shedding their blood. From those multitudes who listened to my disciples, arose those who were faithful to my teaching, which were the martyrs. 40. Today, I do not come to ask for your life or your blood, for you now live in a different period. Nevertheless, could you not do something similar to what those people did with their love, unselfishness, and faith? 41. There are those who say to me, "Father, I am willing to give my life for you." And I answer them, "No, child, do not give up your life without knowing why. You would do better preserving your life and being useful to your brothers. Then when you have finished your mission, do offer it to me humbly." 42. Today you tell me, "Lord, we do not live by bread alone. Come to us and give us your word." 43. You remember me in the midst of your ordeals. You are the strong people, and in those moments when you are greatly suffering, you remember the one who was crucified to ask him for strength. 44. You have been strong to seek me and follow me. It is your intuition that has led you to me, since men have sought to hide the light from the path, as well as my promises to return, my prophecies of the second era, and the revelation of my apostle John. 45. In spite of all that, you have known how to stay away from idolatry and fanaticism, defending your spirit's faith. And when you heard that Christ had returned and was teaching the multitudes, you answered the call and recognized that he was the Master, by the humble form in which he manifested himself, by the simplicity of the place, and by the humility of those who followed him. If you had been told that he was manifesting himself in the palaces of men, you would not have believed it, because the memory of the Rabbi of Galilee is not yet erased from your spirits. Neither would you have believed that he incarnated again as man. Seeing him come again to the world in spiritual form, you felt that that light was coming from the Holy Spirit. For you know that I do not come twice in the same form. My disciples, humanity will judge you and talk about you, but you need to disregard that. Be aware that they are innocent, but always be prepared so that they are not able to extinguish your faith. 46. I come to reveal the secret to you so that you will never separate from the path of true life, since there is no one in the world in this period who knows how to guide you along the path of truth. The secret is to allow yourselves to be guided by your conscience, because that is where I am. 47. All men and all people have gods. But if I were to ask them, "Where have you been led?" they would answer, "To suffering, to the abyss, and to destruction." 48. I am giving you a full explanation of the path which leads to me, teaching you to live with purity on earth so that your spiritual worship is pleasant and pure. I come to tell you to be human in order to be spiritual, obeying Caesar and knowing how to fulfill your obligation to your God. 49. Human life has laws which you must obey to be in harmony with it. Nature demands a tribute from you. Fulfill each law according to how it needs to be fulfilled. But never become confused and offer me the tribute which belongs to the world. Also, do not offer to the world those tributes which you should offer to me. Be aware that whoever obeys both laws, the spiritual as well as the material, will be glorifying me and will come to me. 50. For that reason my teaching does not limit itself solely to the spirit, but also to human life, to the moral values which man should practice on earth. For if you carefully analyze these lessons, you will see that there is only one life and only one path. Do not be surprised to hear me tell you to honor the family and to love your parents. Spouses need to love one another. The man needs to behold the woman not as a servant but as a worthy companion. The woman needs to behold the man as her defender and her protector. And parents need to bring healthy children into the world and guide them along the path of goodness. 51. Also, do not be surprised if I tell you to obey Caesar if he asks you to work for him, for that is also a law that man needs to fulfill. Use your tools of labor so that you may gather the fruits of love and treasures offered by the earth. 52. Seek to advance in human life, but never allow yourselves to be dominated by excessive ambitions, for then you would lose your freedom and become enslaved by materialism. 53. Guide each one of your deeds according to what your conscience tells you to do so that each of your deeds reflects justice. Respect your leaders, answer their calls, and work with them for the good of all. Respect the religious beliefs of your brothers, and when you enter their churches, do so with sincere humility and respect, knowing that I am present in all worship. Do not reject the world in order to follow me, or should you depart from me pretending to have too many other responsibilities on earth. Learn to combine both laws into one. 54. I come to free your spirit only from those things that are needless and false, thus enabling your spirit to rise above all misery, enslavement, and humiliation during its difficult ordeals on earth. Listen to my voice saying to you, there is no one on earth who has power over your spirit. 55. I must speak to you in this manner to destroy the erroneous interpretations which have been given to my doctrine. Today, I do so through these men through whom I communicate, men who are not righteous but whom, nevertheless, I have chosen through my will. 56. They know that the greater their preparation and purity, the greater will be the inspiration which comes to their minds. That is the reason these children of mine, who sinned yesterday, are struggling to amend and regenerate themselves. They want to become worthy of manifesting my word. 57. If you want to seek perfection, you will not find it in the spokesman. Seek it in the essence of my word. There you will find my presence. 58. My people, learn to practice all forms of charity. But do not publicize your deeds, seeking admiration or compliments, for that reward is small, and you will miss the great reward that I have reserved for you. 59. I do not tell you to purify only your spirits, but also to strengthen your physical body so that the new generations which come from you might be healthy, and their spirits will be able to fulfill their delicate missions. 60. Pray, but make your prayers brief so that you may apply the rest of your time to practicing the law. I ask you for 5 minutes of prayers, but surrender yourselves to me in those moments so that you can listen to my voice in your conscience. Truly I say to you that you are not all watching and praying, for my keen vision has penetrated your hearts, where even you sometimes cannot enter, and has discovered all that you hide in them. 61. This is the time of judgment for humanity. My divinity judges men, villages, and nations, one by one. Nevertheless, men have not become aware of that, nor do they know the time in which they live. That is why I have come in spirit, manifesting myself through human spokesmen. Through them I have revealed to you who it is that speaks, the time in which you live, and what your mission is. 62. I have come to place the contents of my 3 testaments in the heart of this people. Nevertheless, even though you know that you possess the truth and the law, you still rise up rejecting one another. This is because the influence of the war which flourishes over all nations has also seized you. 63. Speaking to you is the only God who exists, the one whom you called Jehovah when he showed you his strength and revealed the law to you on Mount Sinai. The one whom you called Jesus because the divine word was in him, and the one whom you called the Holy Spirit, because I am the Spirit of truth. 64. How could you see 3 gods where only one exists? You are all children of this God. Being brothers, why is it that you do not know how to love each other here on earth? You know that men kill other men, that blood flows abundantly, and the pain which invades the earth does not move your hearts. I have told you, pray, and if you obey my mandates, you will not fear wars, hunger, plagues, or unknown diseases. But you are only exempt from these hardships so that you will pray and watch on behalf of your fellow beings. Do not doubt the power of prayer, because it is the Spirit's greatest weapon. 65. The unwise hand of man has opened the doors which were detaining the purifying forces and elements which have fallen upon humanity. 66. Nations of the earth, you are enduring great bitterness, and you feel the pain deep in your hearts. Since you have wanted it so, endure that bitterness with patience so that your spirits will benefit from this experience and become enlightened once you rise to seek the true path. As you start seeking, you will find the ruins of the temple which you had destroyed within yourselves. You will need to rebuild that temple so that my voice may speak to you again there, and you will once again possess my law. 67. Pray and perform good deeds, my people, because war threatens your nation. Your spiritual mission awaits you. Do not allow hunger, disease, and death to penetrate among you. If your faith lacks strength, you will find yourselves tearing out your hair in desperation on seeing your brothers killing each other and your children suffering from hunger. The water which you drink will be bitter. Your mountains and your valleys will become dry, and the trees will not bear fruit. And this land, which is seen by many as the promised land because of its wealth and abundance, will have nothing to offer the foreigner who approaches it seeking freedom or bread. 68. My secret sanctuary is filled with revelations and mercy. I only await the moment when mankind begins to seek the Father, and when man has become pure and humble, so that I may give mankind all the things that I have reserved for them. Verily I say to you that you have always defied my justice, and that I have accepted your challenge in this time. I come ready for war. My power is great. My armies are numerous and my weapons invincible. I will triumph at the end. However, it will be a victory for those who are spiritually enlightened, but not for those who are spiritually asleep. I will not rise up against the dead, but before the living. I will humiliate no one. All will raise their heads to praise my name. My people, that is why I want to observe unity, charity, respect, and love among all of my spiritual followers in houses of prayer. 69. I am granting you this period so that you will eliminate all idolatry and fanaticism from your hearts. Also, I want you to eliminate all superfluous and evil practices in your worship. Be aware of how the divine word descends over humanity. But in the midst of my justice, feel my spiritual peace. 70. O valley of tears and blood, where men erect their throne to worship themselves and afterward dig their own graves with their own hands. I come to free them from sin and from death because they have chained themselves and have become enslaved. Truly I say to you that this world no longer belongs to this humanity. That is why, at every moment it rejects it. 71. The earth is like an unselfish and tolerant mother which has sheltered mankind. Starting now, earth will signal a new path and a new home for mankind. a path that will guide men toward the Divine Father. Another mother, the Celestial Mother, awaits the arrival of her children to wrap them in her mantle, which is an eternal promise of happiness. My peace be with you.